All right, guys. Well, long time no see. You know, I did some. I've been doing a lot of gameplay videos, but it's been a hot minute since I've done like a rant slash discussion video where I actually show my face and talk to you guys, vent and just talk to you guys about a certain topic. But I've been wanting to get back into it. I love making gameplay videos, but I miss doing this as well. It feels good to just sit down and just talk to you guys about a particular topic, whether it's just a rant or I don't know, just a discussion about a certain topic. It's just nice to do that. And I want to keep my Miitopia episodes few and far between because number one, I want it to last. And number two, if I do it too frequently, I'm gonna run out of things to talk to you guys about while I'm playing, because that's part of the reason why I enjoy making those Miitopia Let's Play episodes, is I can update you guys on stuff that has happened since the previous episode. So I want to do them few and far between, so I can see if things will happen in between episodes that I can talk to you guys about in the next episode, if you know what I'm trying to say. But I think episode 3 is next. I think I'm gonna make it, or record it finally, probably at the end of this month, because bullshit is gonna happen, which I'm gonna be getting into in this video actually. And I'm gonna want to just vent and just talk to you guys. I do have some stuff that has happened since the previous episode, so I think it'll be a good time to finally do the next episode. But anyway, on to the topic of this video. Now, I have no idea why I haven't made this video sooner. This is something I really enjoy talking about. I talk about it all the time with Ashton and Purple Ethan. And I talk about it all the time while I'm doing my Miitopia episodes. But I've never really made a proper video just dedicated to the topic, where I'm talking to the camera, talking to the camera and to you guys. Because I don't know, even though I enjoy making rant videos or just discussion videos where I'm talking to the camera, it's just hard finding the motivation to do it. It's hard to bring myself to do it, because it can involve setup, and which can be a pain sometimes. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why I haven't been doing these videos in quite some time, but I really got to get back into these. In fact, I'm probably gonna be remaking a lot of rants I've already did, because I really want to bring these back, because it's just nice. It's just cathartic, therapeutic, whatever you want to say, to make these types of videos. But yeah, as you can tell by the title, I will be talking about reasons why I am excited to move into my own place. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I necessarily dislike my current living situation, you know. I do appreciate and acknowledge the fact that I'm more fortunate than other people, but there are just various reasons why I'm excited about eventually getting my own place. Now, like, I still have a long way to go until I am able to. I don't want you guys to assume I'm making this video because I'm about to move. I still have quite a long way to go, but this is something that's been on my mind for, I don't know, a couple of years now. You know, I think about it almost daily, because it's just nice to think about, you know. It's nice to think about setting up your ideal life, and it's just a therapeutic, it's just a good topic to think about and like discuss with your friends who are like in the same situation as you, you know. They still live with parents or like guardians or siblings, and they're looking forward to eventually getting their own place. So, yeah. I'm finally gonna do a proper video on this topic. And, you know, there's probably more reasons, but so far I have 11, I was able to think of 11 on the top of my head. Like, I have it up on a Google document because, you know, I didn't want to miss anything. It's easy to like forget to say stuff when you're just using like your head, you know. I want to it's better to have like an outline written out. It makes it easier to remember to say everything. But yeah. Anything else I have to say until I get into the reasons? Yeah, I think that's it. Now, the first reason, I think a lot of you guys may disagree with me on this one, but it's not having to deal with dogs. Now, Ashton, Green Ethan, and Purple Ethan, you know, I've been keeping you guys posted on this on the situation for these last couple of months now. We don't currently own our own dog, but my grandparents keep bringing theirs over here every fucking month, and he is so annoying. You know, I'm just not a dog person, you know. I'm a pet-free type of gal. And like, you may think I'm being dramatic, but it's hard to function with when this dog has to come over, because like, you know, I try to get something to eat, but like he's in the way. Like, I'm trying to sleep, but he keeps barking. It's just extremely annoying. And I know a lot of you guys are probably gonna say That's what dogs do. I get that, but that doesn't change the fact that they can be annoying. You know, and if anyone watching this likes dogs, you know, I'm fine with that as long as you're fine with people who do not like dogs. But they're just not my thing. You know, my dad and my brother, like, they're dog nutters. Like, they love dogs, and they can't seem to understand my struggle with them. You know, since we have opposing opinions on dogs, like, it's hard for them to see things from my perspective. You know what I mean? But yeah, like, for context, my grandma has to go a couple hours into a town to get a haircut, and I just don't understand it. Like, I can understand, like, I just don't understand why she goes through so much trouble just for a haircut. Like, I don't understand why she can't just get haircuts in this town. You know what I mean? You know, that's when I get haircuts, I just go to a salon that's a few minutes away. Like, I don't understand why my grandma can't do the same. You know, I also have my step grandpa, but he goes with her. You know, that's another thing I don't understand is, like, why can't he just stay home and watch the dog? Like, I just don't understand. I feel like this, not necessarily me specifically, but just this household in general, like, I feel like we're being taken advantage of. I mean, my grandma does pay my brother to watch the dog because he does most of the work, but I just don't understand why she goes through all this trouble, like, and it frustrates the hell out of me. Like, I'm just ready for the dog. Like, I mean this in the nicest of ways, but I just want there to be for something to happen for the dog not having to come up here anymore. Like, I know pet death is very sad, but for a lot of people, you know, I get that, but I can't help but kind of wait for it to happen, because, like, it's the only way this will probably end. Like, I mean, like, I know a lot of other people who are in my situation where they have to deal with a pet, whether it's constantly or, like, they live in a household that has to do pet sitting. You know, I've seen it on Reddit before. Oh, like, I just want this dog to be gone for good, you know? And, like, and on one hand, I do think it's valid, but deep down, I know we should not have to be in situations where there's no alternative to a freaking death of a pet, you know what I mean? We shouldn't have to resort to looking forward to that, but at the same time, like, it is valid if it's the only way to not deal with it anymore, you know what I mean? And my dad plans on getting a dog when my grandparents' dog passes away. And like, it makes me feel hurt in a way, because like my dad is always trying to shove the whole compromised excuse down my throat. There are other examples of this, but in this case, it's like, oh, well, I have to sacrifice not having a dog, so you have to deal with Zach. Zach is the name of my grandparents' dog, by the way. So you have to deal with Zach on a monthly basis. So if he plans on getting a dog before I move out, if he does, like, and he did say that he may get the dog even before I move out, and like it kind of hurts me in a way, because he's not doing his share of the compromise, because he basically said that, oh, like, we don't have a dog, so you have to deal with Zach, but what's the point? And if he's just going to get a dog anyway after Zach passes away, you know what I mean? And the thing is, too, Zach has separation anxiety, so like when he's over here, like, it's hard for him to relax. Sometimes he does fall asleep in my brother's room, or in my dad's room, or like by the dining room. And he is usually pretty quiet at night, but at the same time, I can a lot of, like, during the day, like, he'll bark a lot nonstop, and I think a part of it is like him, like, his separation anxiety. So I can't help but think it's a little bit irresponsible for my grandparents to just bring him over here all the time like this. But yeah, that's the first reason. Not having to deal with dogs. Like, this falls under, being able to do what I want and having things the way that I want, but yeah, like, it's gonna be nice not having to worry about unwanted pets. Now, like, when I am living on my own and my dad and my brother want to have pets, then, I am more power to them, as long as I don't have to deal with them, other than to maybe, like, go over there for a little bit, like, to have, like, meals, or just, minor casual family gatherings and, stuff like that. More power to them. But I do wish they were more considerate and respectful about me being uncomfortable around dogs. But yeah, that's the main reason that I'm dealing with off and on right now, is, I won't have to worry about it anymore. And again, like, if you like dogs, that's fine. Just please try to understand what I'm trying to, where I'm coming from, Try to put yourself in, like, a person who, like, is uncomfortable around dogs. Try to put yourself in their shoes. But yeah, that's the first reason. The second reason I have is having my own schedule now. Like, what I mean by this is, like, I can do things when I want, not when my dad wants. for example, like, he's more of an early bird and I'm more of a night owl. You know, me and I tend to stay up late and sleep in. In fact, it's 2:12 a.m. right now. But yeah, like, I'm a night owl. I stay up throughout most of the night, and a lot of the times I won't even wake up until like the afternoon. So by the time my dad has lunch made, like, I'm still waking up, and I do try to eat it because I don't want it to just sit there and lose its freshness. But like, I don't really have much of an appetite when I just woke up. I did when I was younger and going to school, but now, like, not so much anymore. You know, I can eat like when I want to, you know. I mean, I already do to some extent, but like, sometimes I don't have control over that, like when my dad cooks lunch. And like when he goes to the store, like, you know, that's another thing. Like, he prefers to go to the store during the day, whereas, like, you know, I like to do things during the evening. You know, that's my favorite time of day too. Like, that's my favorite time of day. You know, I love going out at night. Like, I always have. Like, I don't know why. Like, I don't know. It just hits differently than doing it during the day. Like, I don't know. I'm just a night owl, I guess. But yeah, like, and sometimes I want to go to the store with my dad, or just go and run errands with him so I can get out of the house. But I just can't, because like, I just sleep through it. But yeah, that's what I mean by having my own schedule. I can like run errands and like do these things when I want, and not when my dad wants. You know what I mean? Because, you know, like I said, I'm an evening / nighttime person. That's when I want to do these things. But yeah, number 3. Setting my own rules and boundaries. Now, this kind of goes with number 1, but, you know, I can set my own boundaries and rules and whatnot. Like, you know, since it will be my house, like, if I'm not comfortable with something, I can make it known. For example, I don't want my family members to come unannounced. This might be a controversial opinion, but, you know, I don't think people should have the right to come over unannounced just because they're family. You know, I don't think them being family grants them that right. I don't know if I mean, and I probably still have it. I'm not sure if it was on this channel or my old channel, but I did a rant on, you know, when people come over unannounced. You know, I just don't like surprises in that regard. Like, I want to be prepared. You know, my dad expects me to just always be prepared. You know, he doesn't understand that I struggle to prepare for something that I don't know about. And, you know, that's one of the main reasons why I don't like unannounced visits. Like, I want people to, like, at least let me know beforehand so I can prepare if I need to. Like, I'm not gonna go out of my way to prepare something I don't know about, you know. Screw that shit. like, just let me know, like, I don't know, 10-15 minutes in advance so I can prepare, like, clean up or just whatever if I have to. And, I'll be emotionally prepared too, because, that's another thing. Like, I like to be emotionally prepared for stuff. Like, I just like to be aware of what's going on. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's the main thing that goes under the whole rules and boundary things. I don't mind, like, my family members maybe coming over for whatever reason, but if they're coming over without letting me know, like, that's a boundary that you're crossing. Number 4, being able to relax more easily. Sometimes it's hard to relax because, my brother's always talking amongst himself to his friends, and sometimes he's screaming to himself. Sometimes, a lot of the times, he's talking to my dad about just like sports and just other stuff. So sometimes it's hard to like relax and like sleep in, because when I am trying to sleep, like, a lot of the times I'm waking up to my dad and my brother talking amongst themselves to each other. So a lot of the times when I wake up, I still feel sleepy. But like, once I'm living on my own, I won't have to do that anymore. Same thing with going to sleep. Like, I don't have to worry about any noise going on because I'll be on my own. So yeah, it's just going to be a lot easier because it'll be nice and quiet. It'll only be me. I don't have to deal with, like, anyone talking amongst themselves, except for maybe the neighbors. But if I can, I'm actually gonna see if I can get an isolated house that's more secluded from a neighborhood. Unless I decide to get an apartment, but excuse me, I'm not sure about that yet. But yeah, that's really the main thing about being able to relax more easily, is I don't have to live with people who are constantly talking amongst themselves. And then number 5, going out whenever I please. Now, I'm a homebody, I don't really like to travel or take road trips or go on vacations, but I do like to go out on a reasonable basis just to do casual stuff, like, I don't know, going out to eat, going out to the arcade, or even just going to the store. I think it's nice to get out of the house on a reasonable basis for a couple hours at a time. I won't have to rely on my dad, like, when he needs to go somewhere. I can just do it whenever I want. Because sometimes I do get a little bit stir crazy if I stay home without even going to the store for, I don't know, a week or 2 or so. But yeah, I'm gonna be going out a little bit more often when I'm living on my own. Not all the time, but like, on a reasonable basis. Cause I do like going out to eat and all that good stuff. So I'll probably be going out to restaurants maybe once or twice a week. We'll see. Number 6 is fixing my room the way I want. Now, don't get me wrong, I like my room. I'm not saying I don't like the way my room is now, but ideally, like, I want a more pink theme, Pink is pink is my favorite color, whereas my room has more of a blue theme, which I like the color blue too, but pink is my favorite color. And like, you know, I plan to fix my room to have like a pink floral theme when I'm living on my own. Because, you know, it's just my aesthetic, I guess, you know. I love pink, I love flowers. So I do plan to have a pink floral room once I'm living on my own and I can make those decisions for myself. Number 7, eating fast food whenever I want. Now, don't get me wrong. I already eat fast food once or twice a week, but it will be nice being able to choose when to do it. You know what I mean? I don't have to rely on my dad or my brother to decide. Like, I can decide for myself. And not just fast food, but also going out to restaurants more often. Because, you know, it's kind of rare for us to do that. Usually my dad will just bring something home, or my brother will order DoorDash, which, don't get me wrong, I'm still very much content with DoorDash and just, you know, drive-through food, but sometimes it's nice to just go in and sit down and eat, you know what I mean? But yeah, like, you know, I can choose. Like I said, I don't have to rely on my dad and my brother. I can choose to, like, whenever I want. Am I gonna be eating fast food every day? No. Like, there are gonna be times where I'm just gonna be craving like home cooked food, like ramen noodles, beefaroni, pizza rolls, and you know, there are gonna be days where I'll probably go over to my dad's and like maybe he'll probably do spaghetti or tacos for lunch. But yeah, I am probably going to be eating fast food once or twice or 3 times a week, depending on my appetite for it and like what all I'm craving, you know, and you know how my cravings are in the future. Number 8, possibly meeting my best online friends. Now, this is a big one. You know, I really want to meet Green Ethan, Purple Ethan, Ashton, and even though this is more a recent friend, Eli, like, I would love to meet them in real life or, like, you know, in person one of these days. And I'm probably not going to be able to do that when I'm still living with my dad because, you know, I just don't see it happening, you know. I think this is something I'll have to go out and do on my own when I'm like living on my own, because you know, I don't think you know how parents are in terms of meeting people online, and I do get it, but at the same time, like, they can't hold you back from meeting genuine people online, you know what I mean? Like, I do understand, like, meeting people online can, like, be risky if you're not careful, but I am gonna be cautious. But again, this is something that I'll have to do when I'm living on my own. And we can just have fun together, like, I don't know, we can eat out together, we can watch our favorite movies and TV shows together. Even though I don't really like vacations, I wouldn't mind, like, seeing what it's like going on a vacation with them. At least more casual ones that are only a couple of days and a few hours away, you know. Major vacations like, you know, cruises and and like international vacations. Like, I think that'll be too much for me, but I wouldn't mind maybe trying to go on a vacation that's only a few hours away and only lasts a couple of days. Because, you know, it is different than like family vacations. Family vacations, you have to stick to a certain schedule and deal with nagging, you know, with vacationing with friends and even alone, you know, it comes with a lot more freedom and fun. So I wouldn't mind maybe giving it a try, you know, and if I still don't like it, you know, that's fine, but at least I can say that I gave it a try. Now, like, I forgot to put this on my list, but talking about vacations kind of reminds me of it, but I won't have to go on any unwanted vacations, because that's another thing I worry about. I worry, like, you know, there have been a couple of times where I was almost forced to go on a vacation. You know, I've Ashton, and possibly Purple Ethan, you guys are probably aware of this. You know, I've talked about it with you guys before, but I was almost forced to go to Virginia against my will, which luckily that never happened. And my dad keeps talking about taking all of us to California. The last time I talked about it, I was like, no, I don't want to go. And luckily he said I didn't have to, but he did say that he'll rely on me to take care of the house. So I'm a bit worried about how that will go. But at the same time, I know, like, it may be a stepping stone to being able to live on my own. But yeah, like I said, not being forced to go on vacations, at least because, like, why would you force someone to go on a vacation when they're not living with you? Like, I guess it still can happen, but, like, you know, it's not as heard of. You know, like, plus, you know how parents use the excuse, oh, as long as you live under this roof, blah, 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 which is an excuse my mom used when I didn't want to go to Virginia back in 2017. Because we were going to go, I think, the summer of 2017, but luckily we never did. You're also saying, by using that, as long as you live under this roof excuse, you're also pretty much insinuating that I can do whatever I want when I'm living on my own. So yeah, hopefully I won't have to worry about unwanted vacations once I'm living on my own. Luckily, my mom and my dad have separated, but, you know, I still live with my dad and my brother. But yeah. Number 9, having more control about what is going on, or what will go on. Well, technically number 10, because I just mentioned the extra one, but according to Doc, you know, it's number 9. But yeah, having more control about what is going on. You know, I can't really give any good examples, but, like, I'll be able to plan everything. You know what I mean? Sometimes my dad just plans stuff, but I want to be able to know when everything, I want to be able to have control and like be aware about what's all going on, because I won't have to worry about anyone planning things or scheduling things behind my back. I have the power, you know what I mean? Then number 11, not having to deal with certain commotion or rigmarole. And like, I can give an example of this. There have been a couple of times where my brother's friends were gonna come over, and I don't really like to deal with company, because you're expected to dress and act, and like you're just expected to do shit in a certain way, and like it could cause a lot more commotion as well, and make you feel left out. Like if your sibling has a friend come over but you don't, and like and I want to deal with the commotion. Like I don't want to have to worry about acting a certain way. I don't want to have to worry about them talking amongst themselves. I mean, I don't mean to sound like a Karen or like a cranky person, but like that's really like the type of things I worry about when it comes to people coming over and whatnot. When I'm living on my, or when my brother is living on his own, and when I'm living on my own, I can be at my own place, and my brother can be at his own place, or he'll have a roommate or whatever, and like I don't have to get mixed in I don't have to get mixed in the whole ordeal, you know what I mean? And last but not least, possibly having a better relationship with my dad and my brother. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't have a bad relationship with them per se. We just clash in a lot of areas, and this goes back to the first reason I discussed, but one of them is being our stance on dogs. They absolutely love dogs, whereas like I just do not like them. And like I said, like once we're all living on our own, like they'll all have dogs, and I'll be happy. Like if I'm living on my own and they want to get dogs, like I'll be happy for them. I'll be happy that they get to do what they want without I don't mean to sound selfish, but inconveniencing me, you know what I mean? Like I like thinking about that stuff. Like that's one of the reasons why I'm looking forward to getting my own place. Like we can all do our own thing. We'll all be happy. We don't have to worry about inconveniencing each other, you know what I mean? But yeah, that is one example. Another example is like, I feel like they still lack knowledge, information, awareness, and understanding when it comes to me being on the spectrum and possibly having ADHD. I feel like they are still very, I guess you can say, ignorant when it comes to like certain aspects of it, like my sensitivity to loud noises. That's another thing. Sometimes my dad will play loud music, and it's just like it's overwhelming for me. Like like I feel like I have misophonia, I think it's pronounced. You know, it's when like it goes, I think it can go hand in hand with like having sensory issues, but like it makes it so you have a very low tolerance to loud noises, and like that's definitely me. I remember I was getting stressed out back in September 17th, 2021, because my dad was about to play loud music. So I was trying to talk to him about that, and he just yelled at me, and my brother told me to get over it. Like, you know, like, they don't understand, like, not everyone can just get over loud noises, you know? If you may have a high tolerance to it, good for you, but you need to understand that not everyone has a tolerance to certain things, you know, as high of a tolerance to certain things as much as you do. You know, that's something a lot of people don't understand about being on the spectrum, is like we just have a lower tolerance to just a lot of things in general. You know, that's something a lot of people don't seem to understand about us people who are on the spectrum, and it can probably be said for other neurodivergent disorders, but like, you know, that's the main one. But yeah, like, you know, sometimes not having to live under the same roof can improve your relationship with your family members. Because, you know, you guys can distance yourself from each other. You know, it's good to distance yourself from people, because, you know, that could improve your relationship. It sounds ironic, but it's true, you know. Not only do you want to maintain a relationship with people, but it's also important to, you know, distance yourself from people too. You know, it's all about balance. Like, yes, you do want to maintain relationships and, you know, even see them on a regular, reasonable basis, but you also want to distance yourself to a considerable extent. And sometimes this involves living in separate houses. Because if you live in the same house with someone that you clash in certain areas with, like, it can cause conflict and even arguments to some extent. So yeah, like I said, I'm not saying I have a bad relationship with my dad and my brother. It can just be a little bit complicated at times due to us clashing in certain areas. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say, you know. But, you know, I'm gonna wrap it up by saying this. Like, I know living on your own can come with like a lot of responsibilities and whatnot, but at the same time, it can also come with a lot of freedom and power and being able to create your ideal life, if you know what I mean. Yes, it comes with responsibility, but for a lot of people, the pros can outweigh the cons by a lot. So I'm hoping that will be the case for me. Like I said, I still have a long way to go before I'm able to move out, but I do hope, like, in the next, I don't know, 2 or 3 decades, 1, 2, 3 decades, I'll be able to. Because, like, you know, like I said, I just think about this a lot. I think about how much more freedom and fun I'll get to have once I'm living on my own. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is Shauna signing off. Bye, guys.